Welcome to a special episode of The Grueling Truth. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster, and if you've listened to our shows in the past, you know we've interviewed a ton of former NFL players, and they all have the same concern, which is how can we make contact sports safer? A product was recently brought to my attention that I think can help make sports safer, especially football. That product is Power Plus mouth guards, and our guest today is the founder of Power Plus mouth guards. Please help me welcome to The Grueling Truth, Dr. Michael Hutchison. How you doing, Doctor?
Good, Mike, and hi to everybody who's listening.
All right, so like I said, there are a lot of mouth guards out there that are supposed to be safe. Start off by telling us exactly what Power Plus mouth guards are.
Okay, well, Power Plus is a new innovation. Came out of studying pain, headache, and migraine patients, and it's a whole different concept of mouth appliance for athletes. First thing is it goes on the lower teeth, which is kind of unconventional. Most other mouth guards, well, really all other mouth guards were designed in 1950 to fit on the upper teeth, and they were really made just to keep you from clanging your teeth together and fracturing cusps and fracturing your teeth, splitting teeth, things like that. But that was all that they were really ever meant for. But if you use the concept of physiologic jaw position, which has been discovered in the last 30-some-odd years, you get more from a mouth guard than just a tooth protector. You get that because there's a piece of plastic between your teeth. But if you take that physiologic jaw position and apply it to every single person, which is different, by the way, and not the same, then you get increased strength, you get better balance, you get, like you said, protection against the G-forces, which cause a concussion by putting your jaw in its physiologic jaw position. So now a mouth guard can do more than just protect your teeth.
Yeah, so I guess the difference is it protects your lower jaw, try to keep that in place also?
Well, as you know, the skull is two parts. The fixed part is the upper jaw and the cranium and the part that the brain sits in. And then you have your lower jaw that's a free-moving bone that's connected on both sides by muscles and ligaments. And it's free to move in 6 different directions, but they all work in simultaneous contractions and relaxation. So there's a place of physiology that doesn't disrupt nerve conduction to your muscles. So if your bite isn't correct, then you're going to suffer a certain percentage of non-function, if you will, of your muscles. And if that position is correct for you, then all of the nerve information going to your muscles will cause contraction, and you will increase your performance by an average of 16.8%, which was a study done at the Biomedical Engineering Department at Wayne State University and published and brought about as a new discovery. So the fact is that everybody has a discrepancy in their bite. So each person can benefit by having their jaw put in the physiologic jaw position.
So what are the benefits of this mouth guard?
Well, there's quite a few things.
My question would be this, like with my sons. Would this lessen or reduce the chances of getting a concussion?
Yeah, the studies that are out right now have put the concussion incidence or rate at 0.26%, which is much lower than what the CDC reports every year. They report about a 10% per year concussion rate that's reported, and then they add another 10% for those that aren't reported. And so when you take and drop it down to almost 0.26%, that's a significant improvement just by supporting and putting your TMJ or your temporomandibular joint in a passive position where that force that causes concussions from that part of the skull can't jump across that gap and enter the brain. So That's one of the major findings with physiologic jaw position. The other ones are some practical things. One of the reasons why a lot of people don't like mouth guards, and you find in the professional ranks they don't wear them because there's no rule to wear them. They don't wear them because they can't talk with them, and they can't breathe because it's a big obstruction in the top of their mouth. But by taking it and putting it on the lower arch, you can talk normally because it's under your tongue, and you can breathe normally because it's out of the way and it doesn't cause any obstruction. So that's another practical benefit. But also, again, like I said, when you don't block nerve conduction to your muscle fibers, and that's what tells your muscle fiber to contract so that you can actually do something. When you don't block that, you get 100% efficiency, and you can actually go to the weight room and test this out. You can just go there and put on 16.8% more weight than you can do in your maximum, and you'll immediately do it with ease. So that extrapolates into increased strength, and your muscle function is better, so better balance. And when you have those, along with no oxygen obstruction, you get more oxygen intake, which is all performance-based principles. All those things make your performance better.
All right, so how did you develop the Power Plus mouthguard?
Well, it's kind of interesting. It's one of those things that I didn't set out to do at all. Actually, what I was doing was helping people who had migraines and chronic headaches. And one of the diagnostic tools is when people would come back and report to me that they felt like they had more energy, and they felt like they weren't as tired and didn't want to take a nap, and not only was their pain gone, but they just felt like they were stronger. And so that got me to start thinking about athletes. I come up from a sports family. My dad was an exercise physiologist, one of the first in the country, and we were big sports fanatics. And I thought, well, if I can make Mrs. Jones stronger, what would happen if I took the hapless Detroit Lions back in 2000? And
you can pick any year for them, Michael, past 1960.
Yeah, but they're like 0-9 that season. I thought, well, if I could make the front line 25% stronger, they'd win the Super Bowl, and I'd be a genius. So I started to work on testing that theory that physiologic jaw position would produce increased strength. And the first person that I ever tested on was a local police chief, fire chief. He was kind of a celebrity up here in Traverse City, Michigan, and he won a national over 60-year-old bench press contest. He lifted 398 pounds. And they wrote an article about him in the paper, and he said he wanted to go to the international competition and break the world record, which was 435 pounds. So I called him and I said, I think I can get you your world record tonight if you just give me a chance. And so he did. I made him a quick mouth guard, and he went to his workout that night, and he lifted 455 pounds. And was just absolutely shocked. Went on to Prague and did break the world bench press record with a sanctioned lift of 455 pounds, which stood for almost 10 years. So then I knew that there was something to this physiologic jaw position, and I started to, do more testing, and I used my son's football team, high school football teams, and for 6 years they wore Power Plus technology, and none of those kids had a concussion. So that really changed the whole game. And it made me take a right-hand turn and sort of, pursue more of the concussion benefit because strength had been proven in scientific tests independent of me, and that was basically a known fact. But the concussion thing was not known, and what a mouth guard could do for that. So from about 2009, we've been doing research in concussions, and have studied over 1,500 subjects with a 0.26% concussion rate.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the thing is this, you talked a little bit about the weightlifter. I know I brought up football already, but what sports are there? What sports is this currently being employed in?
Well, believe it or not, almost every sport requires agility, balance, strength. And so sports that you don't really consider wearing a mouth guard is imperative, like golf. Golf, you need really good balance, you need good club head speed, you need strength. I think Tiger Woods proved that weightlifting and strength can improve your game immensely. So even cheerleading, which is something that people would shy away from wearing a mouth guard because they have to talk so much, using physiologic jaw positioning doesn't impair that whatsoever. And there's a lot of concussions that happen in cheerleading. So the way they do that now takes a lot of strength and a lot of balance and agility. So anywhere from cheerleading to soccer to lacrosse to actually there was a study early 80s from Michigan showing marathoners when they had a physiologic jaw appliance, their wall went from 16 miles to 22 miles. So virtually every single sport. I got a guy here in town that mows his lawn with it because he says he doesn't get tired out. He's got a big lawn to mow, and he doesn't get tired out mowing his lawn anymore. He wears the physiologic jaw positioner.
All right, so basically this can be used for anything. The big question, which I know our listeners are thinking, is how much does this cost?
Individually, it's $30 plus shipping and handling, which is $8.95. And so, or there's a team deal that we do for high school teams and middle school, even youth football. If you can order more than 30 of them, you get $5 off, so they're $25 each. Right now, at this present time, we're doing a preseason special of $25 each. You can go to the website and you'll find out how to do that.
Now, my question is this, real quick. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is my question. I'm sure it's a lot of parents' question. But when I get my son's mouthpieces, those mouthpieces usually have to be replaced every couple of weeks from them chewing on them and everything else. Is your mouthpiece different? Where can one mouthpiece make it through a season?
Well, absolutely. I usually recommend that they change it every year. Kids grow and they put it through 3 sports and a lot of abuse. I always counsel kids to not chew them because each time that you fit it for yourself, for your own personal physiologic jaw position, and it's set. And if you chew on it and you make it thinner makes you weaker. So you don't want to change the dimension of that. You want to keep it the same. So we really don't have a problem. I mean, some kids are going to chew it, but, all you have to do is sit them down and talk to them about it, and they realize that this is not just a run-of-the-mill tooth protector, but it actually helps them play better. They tend to take care of it a lot better.
Now, if somebody wants to order the Power Plus mouth guard, where do they go to order it, Doctor?
Go to www.powerplusmouthguard.com and click on the Purchase Now button, and it'll take you through, and it usually takes about 2 days to get one.
Now, my question is this. Do you have to do any measurements or anything like that?
Yes, there's some instructions, very detailed. It's not difficult, but you do need to fit it correctly to your own body. I recommend that people go to the website and look up the fitting instructions. There's a great video there that shows you how to do it. And it's like I said, it's not difficult, but it's not a boil and bite. I would say that it's more of a heating it up to the right temperature and then swallow. Put it in on your lower teeth, and then you swallow 5 times. The swallowing action is your involuntary muscle contraction that puts your jaw in its physiologic jaw position, and that's very important because each person has a different one custom to themselves. And so it's really important that you do it that way as opposed to what you're used to, just, boiling it up and putting it in there and biting down as hard as you can. You don't want that because you can bite anywhere you want to, but you want to know where your muscles contract. That's what's most important. So the technique is a little different, but it's fairly simple to do, and anybody can do it.
Well, and the other thing is this. I mean, if you go to your local Dick's or whatever, you look at mouthpieces, it'll have a Nike swoosh on it. It's going to cost as much as yours does, and it doesn't really protect anything. So, I mean, if people say, I don't want to pay $38 for a mouth guard, you're getting more than just a mouth guard here. It's something that looks like it improves your performance. It helps you breathe, which improves your performance, plus cuts down on chances of concussions.
I had a guy that went to Pro Day this year. He jumped 5 inches higher in his vertical, and he lifted his 250-pound bench press 4 more times than he'd ever done previously just by having physiologic jaw position. I've had 5 kids now be knocked out cold. I have the videos to show it, and all 5 of them were not diagnosed with a concussion. I've had full teams go full season without a concussion wearing Power Plus mouth guard. This is the real deal, and we continue to do studies on it, but it takes mouth guards to a whole new level. There's really no reason to wear a conventional mouth guard anymore because it doesn't matter if it's a Nike or a Shock Doctor or any other mouth guard. They're all the same. They're the same thickness for every single person. And as you know, every person is not the same. Yeah. So all you're getting is a tooth protector. That's all you're getting. And yeah, it does protect your teeth from breaking, but so does the physiologic mouth guard. And so it's time, that we step up to the new technology. Those things were designed in 1950. So here we are 67 years later, and it's the exact same mouth guard. So Power Plus is the new technology, and actually it's patented, and it's the only one that can do that on the market in the world. So it's a pretty important,
and Michael,
important
I think
discovery.
Anybody that is interested in, just your kids' safety when they play football or to make them safer. There's no guarantees in anything, but the one guarantee is it will make it safer. Nothing is a foolproof plan, but this will make your kids safer, and it's a small price to pay for that. And, it was great having you on the show. And once again, tell everybody where they can order.
At powerplusmouthguard.com.
Yes, which you can also find a link on thegruelingtruth.net. So, Doctor, it was great having you on the show.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me, and good luck with everything.
All right, same to you, Doctor. All right, so guys, make sure you check us out on iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher. Any place you find sports podcast, you'll find The Grueling Truth. So for Dr. Michael Hutchison, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.